Woo, woo. Oh my goodness. Yay. Hi, LS.
Yes, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I'm so excited to be filming episode 2 of Hot Cocoa Critics.
Mhm.
Oh my God. It is. I feel like these holiday movies are coming at us full steam. Like these Black Christmas
Black,
movies.
I can't keep up, and I love it. Every time I turn the TV on, it is literal Black love, Black Christmas, Black folks in the snow, little Black babies opening presents. Like, yes, yes, give me more. You can't serve
Right.
us for all these years, and then like, bam,
Black daddies do matter at Christmas.
Black daddies, Black mamas, Black love, Black grannies cooking greens. Yes, girl, I cooked greens today. Listen.
Oh, you did?
I did. I made greens. I made baked mac and cheese. I was chopping up sweet potatoes.
Is it Christmas today? Did I miss it?
It, I've just decided in this Black house, we're going to have greens on Sunday.
About time.
You're going to smell and taste greens every Sunday. My
I think
kids
that's
took a piece.
beautiful.
Kennedy was like, I don't want to eat that.
Not to, you'll learn to eat it. You'll learn to love it.
Girl, listen. I'm like, you're all right. You'll be all right. You eat these greens. When you get
No,
grown, something's going to click and you're going to like the taste of greens. Kids don't like greens. But
no,
something about your spirit will shift and you will like greens when you get older. Trust. So anyway,
I know what happens. It's that you have one holiday meal too many without them, and your stomach is stuck out to here, and you get a little backed up for a little while. And then somebody said, now, baby, that's why we had a greens to kind of move it all around. And then all of a sudden, oh, greens. Okay, I have some greens. And then you realize they taste good. And it may be the progression of like eating other parts of like a turkey or a hog. It's like, oh, okay. You
it's
put these in the
balance.
greens.
It's
Yeah.
balance. Yeah, it's just the meal is not right without that balance. It just adds that extra balance. And it tastes like just like home and pleasant memories in your mama's house. So
It
anyway.
does. It does.
Mhm.
And at some point, like getting tortured into eating greens as a kid becomes a happy memory.
You don't eat these greens. Like, what? Give me some more macaroni. What you mean? Greens. Yeah. As a child, you just can't imagine like having to eat that wet, soggy, dripping, and it's vinegary and it's spicy and it's meat floating around in it. Like, what is this?
And then you realize if you just slide that on down your throat, you can go back to playing with your cousins.
Listen, I used to swallow it whole. I didn't even chew it. I was like,
No, don't even chew it. You slurp it like spaghetti and keep it
yeah.
moving.
Mm. And now I'm like, give me my greens. So anyway, they'll be
Yes.
gone tomorrow because between me, the grown-ups in the house getting seconds and thirds, they're gonna be gone tomorrow. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Well, I finished decorating one of 2 Christmas trees. I have 3, as you know. I feel like I'm
Mhm.
behind on Christmas, but like,
Everybody started in September, so
yeah, and I'm just not one of those people because I do want to honor harvest decorations and all that, but like finally got the second tree almost decorated. The third tree is not going up. We've decided that we need to replace her, and that's not happening this year, and we don't have the bandwidth for it. So the second tree is almost done, the gold tree with like the pinks and the like Tiffany blues, and the other tree is like very traditional, like green, red, gold. And then remember a few years ago when like the buffalo check was bigger. It was like much bigger theme and like deer and like antlers. Remember that was kind of a thing like 4 years ago.
mhm.
So that's the decorations that are on that tree. But a bit we've watered it down a bit.
Mhm.
And so that's our tree where whenever we get like ornaments from friends, that's like the family tree, pictures of holiday pictures. We tuck those in the branches and stuff. So that's like our family tree
Oh,
that goes.
that's nice. Yeah.
The
That's
bougie tree is the tree I'm still working on.
yes. We did that too. The upstairs tree is like the traditional tree, little pictures, little antlers, just
Yeah.
random. It's all the colors. It's like all the colors. But the
Yeah.
downstairs tree is very decor specific. Shouts out to Jackie Ina. I will never decorate my tree the same or my home.
Oh, Well, I have to move in order for my house to look anything like Jackie Onassis. I think there's like a corner of my kitchen where I can kind of play, but like that day that I saw her put together her coffee set, I was like, girl,
I'm not adulting. I'm not living my life right because yeah, Jackie,
no,
I was
no. I think it's a
watching
very
her.
specific version of OCD that I don't have.
Yeah, watching her restock and assemble her coffee bar, it just makes me just rethink my whole life, and I love it. I'd be watching like I never seen a K cup before. Like, ooh, she's stacking
Yeah.
her K cups, like, and everything's
Because for some
gold,
reason her K cups are trimmed in gold and ours are not.
and all her little spoons. And yes, so I just look. You're go ahead, Jackie. I love it. I'm not a. I
I
am.
know. Oh my God. So, okay, well, I know we had like a really busy weekend and everything. But I'm so glad that we were able to like catch these Christmas movies as they dropped. Like they're dropping like mixtapes for real. I'm
Like it's hot.
like is hot. So I'll go first. I watched A Miracle Before Christmas,
Hmm.
and it is literally a Christmas Carol reboot, is what it is. I mean, that's not a huge spoiler because you pick up on it pretty quick. And it's a BET Plus movie, so I mean, we're still shouting out BET Plus. Like they have not taken their foot off the gas. They are dropping these movies,
Come on, BET Plus.
and I
Yes.
feel like they drop every Thursday. I could be wrong. I haven't seen any. We're watching the days, right? And they seem to be Thursdays. So um I don't think I could figure out, and maybe I missed it. Maybe I was sipping. Likely I was. I don't remember where it took place.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was like Atlanta or St. Louis. I can making up both of those,
But
but
some fabulous city, some fun city.
absolutely, where blacks roam free.
It's not in the green book.
No.
You can travel there safely. You can go to the store.
The black family is happy, feels safe. They're making the money.
Yes.
The daddy doesn't look stressed because okay, so I'm just gonna run through this cast for you a little bit. And I love that we decided, to dive a little bit deeper into the casting, but we're still sticking to like the stars of the show. So there are definitely a lot more actors, but the thing is, BET Plus, OWN, the list goes on. They're casting heavy hitter, Black national treasures. So their list of accolades are long. So this movie stars LaToya Luckett,
Love her.
Walker,
That's right.
right?
Oh, wait. Did she get a divorce?
I don't look.
Girl,
I,
it's a reality show, and the dude was like cheating, and and then it was like a public. It was all on Instagram. We were mad at him. Didn't we? We talked shit about him.
we are not talking about making good, are we? We're talking about LaToya Luckett.
We talked bad about her husband too. But no, LaToya Luckett, they got it unless they
She's no
really.
longer Walker. Well, IMDb. By the way, my source is IMDb. Let me
Okay.
just put that out there now. That is my source. That is my one source. I didn't go nowhere else.
They were moving together from Instagram. I mean, like
What?
he
Oh,
was cheating
okay.
while she was pregnant. Anyway, girl, we off task,
That's not a Christmas movie. Let me tell you, that is not a plot.
baby.
Maybe on anyway. Um,
Lifetime.
so LaToya Luckett, possibly Walker, possibly not. Either way, it's a hyphen, so it can be easily dropped if needed. So we know that she was recently in the Power Book of 3 with Raising Canaan is the name of that Power Book 3, and Lion Sisters, which is immediately a cult classic. Yep. But we really know her as an original member of Destiny's Child. Let's not pretend. Okay, that is
Say my name. There you go.
slow version remix with Wyclef. So I mean, that's what we know LaToya from. She's like our cousin, right? And the only other Christmas movie I saw again in IMDb was Seasons of Love from 2014. And then in the movie, her husband is played by Romeo Miller, and he was in Lottery Ticket, Jumping the Broom, and a lot of other movies. He's had a lot of like features and cameos. However, this looks like it may be his first Christmas movie. I could also be wrong. That's what it looks like.
He was a Lifetime with Michelle Williams. It wasn't.
He sure was.
Yeah.
See, so who knows? And who's to say that IMDb is not throwing shade at Lifetime? Maybe that's something we need to uncover.
Was it 7 Deadly Sin series? I forget what deadly sin it was, jealousy or envy or something like that. Or
it did show that. So yes. And you know what I thought would be kind of hokey but festive if we could figure out what other Christmas movies they've been in, so we could like support that. Because I feel like this is a new genre for Black entertainment. I feel like
They probably wouldn't have been in too many. Like, I think the people that were in Christmas movies before this dump would be like Keisha Knight Pulliam, Ashley Banks, Tatiana Ali, you
right,
know,
right.
Vanessa, Lord, what's Vanessa? Tempest Bledsoe,
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, they
Vivica
were,
Fox for sure. She keeps it
yeah,
check.
there were
Yeah.
some tried and true, repeats. The lady who played the mama in Half and Half, she was the bougie mama.
Yeah.
She's been a Christmas movie, Black Christmas movie mom in the
Yeah.
past. But I
Jackie
bet.
Harry's been in a few like that. I found some in the like crate like
Mm,
a couple years ago, maybe mid 2000s. Jackie Harry had a few that dropped. So no, absolutely. Like I feel like this is becoming a new genre for us and they're listening to the people. So I actually really enjoyed this movie. I know we're still kind of like in the Wesley Christmas, which we should. But Latoya Luckett, she plays Mercedes Wright, who's a relationship expert and therapist, very successful relationship expert and therapist, and she will tell you so. She has no problem patting herself on the back. Her husband is played by Romeo Miller, who his name is Matt. He's an architect. Okay. And he's devoted and he's leaned in. He's picking up kids from school, taking them to school, getting them ready for school, feeding them breakfast, patting them on the booty, sending them off to the school bus. Like he is the daddy. But they have like a healthy sex life. Like I think the whole movie opens up with them like in bed. A very weird set of clogs are on the floor, like the shoes.
okay.
I almost thought it was gonna be something else because the shoes weren't sexy. They were very arch support forward shoes.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's my one knock because I was talking to you about this earlier. The hair was fabulous. It was laid. The wig game was strong from her to her co-stars. Romeo, I never looked at him and thought he looked a little scruffy or needed a little lineup. He looked decent. Her fashion was pretty good. I felt like they had a nice budget. So the lighting was amazing. Her makeup was phenomenal. They spent a lot of money on the fantasy portion of this movie. So Mercedes, the layout, let me give you the background of the layout. So Mercedes' marriage is falling apart due to her self-absorption and career ambition and imbalance with her family commitment. So like the kids have all these activities. Like I said, he's running them to and fro, but she doesn't make it to anything. She starts off saying she's going to make it, but she doesn't. There are many times where, she is having late meetings and there's a lot of wine involved, which may lend a suspicion that she may be a bit of an alcoholic or like just self-medicating maybe. So
is it always
big glass of red wine, like all the time, swirling it around.
That makes it even worse. Swirling this red wine in your glass.
There's many moments where she's like, "Oh, I need a drink." It's like a bit of that. Yeah, I mean, but there's nothing wrong with it. But they make such a point of it that I guess it's to show that she's like self-medicating.
Doing a lot. Yeah.
She's doing a lot. But it's not like it's to the point to where she's not functioning or she's missing meetings or anything. It's just you can tell like it's the way she socializes. And it actually is a backdrop of the change in the story. So yeah, she literally is like one appointment with a couple and their marriage is saved. Like that's how good she's supposed to be and how fabulous she thinks she is. And she and her husband get into it because she misses a commitment of one of the children. They have an event. She promised she would come. She promised the daughter she would come. The daughter's like a fourth grader. The son looks like he might be in junior high or like a freshman in high school. And he's old enough to make faces like a grown man.
She's like, "I'm coming." He's like, "Okay, mama."
Whatever, mom. He's old enough to say that. Okay. And she's like, "Mommy, I know you'll be there. I believe in you." And she's like, "Girl, I'm gonna be there. Girl. Pack your instruments." So, but she doesn't show up. And so basically, he ends up going to his mother's house for a break. He gives her a bit of a talking to. It's like this weird disconnected argument where she's like, "We're fine." He's like, "We're not fine." And I'm gonna take. And this whole while he's packing the suitcase demonstratively. And they go to his mom's house and she goes to a bar to have a drink and runs into a stranger who is played by Keith David,
Okay.
known as Bishop James from Greenleaf, right?
Girl, wait a minute. Now they played lovers in Greenleaf because she was Rochelle Croft girl. She walked up in that church with a $10,000 check. Oh, Bishop, I'm so happy to have a home at your church, Bishop. They didn't actually do it, but it was heavily implied there was some chemistry there. And his wife kicked him out the house over Rachel Cross. Girl, they brought back Pastor Greenleaf.
Keith David. Wait, who, by the way, he's been in so many of these movies. Like he is a Black national treasure when it comes.
He's a national treasure at this point. Barbershop.
I was like researching him and I saw something about him that is so obvious, but I feel like it needs to be said. He is a classically trained actor. He's a thespian.
Girl, listen.
But you can tell.
When he played Lester Wallace in Barbershop, I was like, look.
Everything.
To go from Lester Wallace to Pastor Greenleaf, you got to be classically trained, okay?
Girl, so wait. So he has a very important role in this film. He plays the angel. So at this point, you now feel like, okay, she's Ebenezer Scrooge. He's the angel or whatever of future of Christmases to come. And she's got this assistant who is like this petite gay guy. He's, very devoted to her. He brings all the fabulous one-liners. He's very witty. Okay. And I think the straw that breaks the camel's back is like, she tells him he can't throw a Christmas party. Like he literally has a Christmas party that night. She's like, you can't, you have to help me with this until X amount of hours into the morning, help her with legal paperwork. And this is when she realizes her husband's taking a break. So it almost implies that maybe she's getting her affairs in order for him to divorce her. It's like maybe what you're thinking. Anyway, so she meets him and she tells him basically, hey, I would love for everybody to see what it were like if I were never in their lives, not realizing that means they're not in your life either. Mm-hmm. So then on goes like a series of scenarios where she has a whole nother life. Her business is booming. She's living her boss babe, black girl magic enterprise dreams. And that's why I say the budget, you're like, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, okay. Because she's living a life bigger than she could ever imagine, of course, lacking her family. And it's just a really cool spin on it. I absolutely loved it. There was no part of it that got overtly cheesy for me. I was here for like every twist and turn. She even made a friend with like a single mom stripper person. I'm not going to tell you how they meet, but that ended up being a friend of hers. And I'm really loving like these women are not butting heads in these films. Like nobody's like competing for one another. Competing against one another rather, or competing for a man. Like I'm just into this whole new vibe.
Yes.
And of course, like at some point she wakes up, appreciates the life she had, appreciates Matt, Romeo, and loves her children, shows up for them and realizes that everything she had was more than enough and that her life would just not be the same without her family. And so that's like the overall theme. And of course, per the usual, BET inserts a spiritual message that is appreciated and substantive, but they don't like beat you over the head with it. It's like, hey, be grateful for what God has given you and for the family that's all around you and all of that. So yeah, I think I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, that's really everything. That the main overall arching theme is that, family's all that matters and success will come no matter what. So I really loved it. I thought it was great. I think it's an instant classic. I think it could definitely even have a part 2. I'm into it. So that's A Miracle Before Christmas.
Yay. Okay. All right. Well then, okay. So I watched The Sound of Christmas on BET Plus, and it had Neo from Music. Artist Neo and Soraya, who also played Tiana in Empire.
She's so gorgeous. Oh my God.
Just that naturally, okay? Just girl.
I started following her on Instagram and then I kind of regretted it. It made me hate my own life a
Like her
little bit.
skin, she's just such a natural beauty.
She
She's just
is.
beautiful. And it's like beautiful. Like, girl, look, she makes you do your skincare routine, put some vitamin C, you got to exfoliate. Like her skin is beautiful. She's just, girl. The opening scene, she's with her boyfriend,
Mhm.
Mike from Ready to Love, Mike Best. Big fine Mike Best.
Do you have
I've
on a
seen,
dashiki?
girl, he had on a turtleneck. He got on a tight shirt, turtleneck, and some jeans with them big old thighs and that big old chest. And listen, but
We love proportions.
we listen, okay? I like some meat on that.
Proportionate.
Okay, meat on that bone. I will say this: it's very churchy. It's a kind of a churchy movie. Like they're breaking up because she's like, I can't be living with you. We living in sin. And he's like, baby, we can go lay in the bed. Let's make up and lay in the bed. He's clearly like not trying to be on no straight and narrow. She's like, I can't keep living like this with you. I gotta be closer to God. And he kind of is not like, he's kind of joking. But he's like, no, don't go, don't go.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm moving out. She don't have anywhere to live. So she goes to church, to choir practice. You tell her friend, like, oh, I moved out. I need a miracle. Meanwhile, this rich lady who also goes to their church, is like,
Benefactor.
yes, I need to talk to you. I need someone for a nanny for my grandkids. And it turns out the grandkids are the children of Neo, and his wife has passed away like years ago. And so she needs someone to be there with the kids. So she's like, the job pays 75,000 a year plus room and board. You'll live in the mansion. And she's like, okay. And then her friend is like, girl, that's so and so. That's that famous so and so. And she's like, oh, the actual celebrity. And he has that fiance that looks like she's God gives the earth. And she walks in the church like she owns it and blah blah blah. So there's a fiance on the scene, some sassy, thinks she all that
You
fiance
already know.
who never comes to church except for like Easter. So of course she goes to the house. She has a raggedy car. She pulls up. She late. Listen, they trying to make her look poor. If poor looks like that, look, okay. She make poor look real good, okay. But Neo's like really, really just like he's busy. He's on his phone. He's kind of rude. The fiance comes in. Who is she? She's like very demonstrative with her ring. No, no. Like, look at my ring. The fiance, dang it, I forget her name. She's like, is it not Drea? She's like really curvy.
Yes. Yeah, it is Drea.
Okay, Drea.
She's on Basketball Wives. Like she's super duper snatched.
Super snatched, gorgeous.
Like super snatched. Yeah.
And who is she? I mean, you could almost couldn't be mad at her because she was so pretty.
Yeah, Drea is pretty.
Pretty. But basically the kids come, they're brats. They're like, why you getting comfortable? You're gonna quit next week. Like, the little boy pranks her. But of course, what's gonna happen, right? She gets close to the kids. The kids reveal they're going through a hard time adjusting to their mom's loss. The fiance don't want nothing to do with the kids. She wants her man. This is my man, future wife. I'm his future wife. She's not. I don't think she's the actual fiance. She may just be somebody he's dating. They're talking about marriage.
But she's already like down the road. She's got the ring. She's down the road. She's like, we're getting this.
She's super shady towards Soraya. Soraya and Neo bond and become friends. Of course, the fiance gets jealous. Mike pops up at church. So she makes Neo come back to church because she sings. And he said, I'll just come to hear her name is Montana. They be giving us these weird names. Matt, Montana. This is the second Black girl named Montana.
Mercedes.
Girl, like Montana. Girl, anybody named by the Montana. Anyway.
Hannah Montana.
There we go. Hannah Montana. So
that's a twerk song too, by the way.
Girl, so she's Montana, and Neo, she sings, and Neo comes to church. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's back! What I gotta do?" And Pastor Jamal Bryant plays the pastor at the church. He's like, "What we gotta do to get you here every Sunday?" I just came to see Montana. In that case, Montana gonna be on the program every week. And it's like, y'all quit saying Montana. Anyway,
drinking game alert.
Right. Mike pops up at church trying to get her back, and then Drea sees Mike. Who is this? Then she ends up realizing that he's her ex, so she plots to like get Montana fired, so she'll have nowhere to live. So she'll go back and live with Mike, and then she'd have her man back. Of course, it backfires. I mean, it's a cute movie. There are some moments that are very endearing, like how she bonds with the kids, especially the teenage girl who was really struggling without her mom. So to have somebody actually like see her and sing with her. First, whoa, the teenage girl can sing. Like
For real, for real. You
Where
think
is her
that's a real voice, or you think she was lip syncing?
You know what? I don't know. It could
Mhm.
whoever's singing can sing. Okay, somebody can sing. They
We'll
may
say
be
it's her. Look, we'll say it's her. We don't know.
until we find otherwise. But
Yeah.
of course, the love story they end up getting together, and it always worked out for the good people. The fiance is ousted. They find out that she's been plotting and scheming. Mike with
Mhm.
his big chest and his turtleneck and his tight jeans. He was looking good though. I was like, y'all got to make this more believable. Somebody gonna leave Mike for Neo?
Just drag him to church. Why was that not a possibility? Just drag
Well, he
his big butt to church.
said he would come back to church if she was like,
Throw a
no,
blazer on that ass and take him to church.
blazer over that tight turtleneck and bring him on, girl. Look,
Tuck a Bible under that arm and say, "Come on, brother."
Bible under the bicep. Look, Bibles and bicep.
Bible under the bicep.
Let's do it. It's a cute, super cute movie. The fashions are cute. Soraya just looks so drop dead gorgeous. Like she don't even need any. Her body is snatched. Her face is beautiful. The skin is glowing. She makes you want to eat healthy and just exfoliate.
And bathe in olive oil.
Bathe and all the butters, the cocoa, the shea, just all the butters. So anyway, cute movie. I definitely say it's worth a watch. It's very wholesome. It's nothing like
Okay.
super salacious. Um, it does have an underlying message, like the theme, and it comes full circle, and the family is healing, and
Yeah.
music plays a large role in it, and it's just really, really, it's a sweet movie. But it is eye candy. I will say eye candy. Drea is snatched. Everything she wears, waist snatch.
Yeah.
Maya snatched. Mike looks like Mike. I mean,
He snatched.
yeah.
Got snatched.
Neo doesn't really have that heartthrob look, but I will say he grows on you as his heart begins to soften. He
Right.
does kind of grow on. He has a swag about himself, and he can hang a suit. So
Neo, we've never had an issue with Neo and his clothes.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he plays a good rich snob. I mean, he played that role really well. He was always on his cell phone, like I'm sorry.
You know what? Neo kind of has like a snooty dude look on his face. Like if we went to college with Neo, I don't think he's somebody that I would have readily spoke to.
Yeah, he looks like he knows he's the shit. Like,
Yeah, absolutely he does.
self-assured. He's like
Very self-assured. Yeah.
yeah. So that was a perfect fit for that role. So seeing him open up and like embrace and seeing his softer side, his character was multidimensional too. Because on one hand, he seemed like this snob, and he was like in the church. He'd been like, he'd been hurt or damaged in some way and was like distancing himself from church. But on the flip side, he was going and visiting like a cancer patient, and he was still showing compassion and charity, just doing it outside of the church. So it was the characters are multidimensional. It was really nice. So 2 snaps, I'd say go see it. So those are the movies that we covered, and I think those were 2 very strong candidates. People should definitely watch those movies. Warm fuzzy, you ain't gotta hide the kids. I mean,
Yeah, no hide the kid factor. And then also, since you just finished yours, and we'll circle back to mine, our peppermint hot chocolate rating. So how many peppermint hot chocolates would you give it overall between glam, plot, substantive, content, acting, warm, fuzzy feeling at the end? Like, what would you give it?
I'd say like 3.75. Almost at a 4. I mean, some of the stuff was a little bit predictable.
Yeah.
But overall, I'd say 3.75, almost at 4 peppermint hot chocolates. It's definitely a strong movie. It was a feel-good movie. No unnecessary thuggerization, no drive-by shootings.
That's also a part of our peppermint hot chocolate rating.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nobody crying and falling out of little pookie them and all that shit. It was just a great,
Yeah.
feel good.
I will give it like a warning that it is a musical. So like if you have a strong aversion to musicals, there are a few musical numbers, right?
Yeah, several. I thought they were nice songs. It was not like overly like every 5 seconds and a 5, 6, 7, 8. They slid it in. The musical numbers came like when she was at church, she sang a song. When they had the benefit, they sang a song. So there were no like oddly placed musical numbers like I'm gonna go take a shower and let the water fall. Like one of the
right.
1 minute of that. So
nobody's breaking out in the song in the middle of the grocery store or anything random.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Can I get to the yams? Well, none of that.
Yeah. Can I get to the yam in the green?
Yeah.
Because it's Sunday. My family shall smell green.
all of that. So yeah, it was
All of
really,
that. Okay.
yeah. So what
Yeah.
about Holiday Hideaway?
Or oh no, The Miracle
Stars.
Before Christmas.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, well, A Miracle Before Christmas, I think I would give it 4 peppermint hot chocolates. There was nothing that really turned me off about the movie that sticks out. Like there was no, I mean, I watched it a day or two ago and there's still no weird aftertaste. I mean, I'm still, look, I love a color in my hair. I love to have, me, a honey highlight, a ash blonde. I'm always 50 shades of blonde. Latoya Luckett's hair game made me want to wear jet black hair. Like that's how laid her hair was. And even like the supporting actors, supporting roles, I felt like they did them right as far as like costume, makeup, hair. Anytime the set design was cheaply done, it was on purpose.
Right.
It was to convey a point, and then they even went the extra mile of having Latoya Luckett pointed out. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was well done, and I can't really remember who wrote it or who produced it, but I just feel like it was a really great, great, great film. And I enjoyed it and would be willing to watch it again. Normally, my husband watches them with me. And I mean, it's a movie that I would be willing to ask him to sit down and watch with me in totality. So,
Okay.
and Romeo played like a serious role. Like, I think he had a run for a while where he was kind of like the sexy young guy going after a cougar type.
Mhm.
He actually played a very serious role, and I think it's the first time I've seen him, just speaking personally, as a father figure. And I
Oh.
thought he did a very good job as a girl dad, and I just feel
Oh.
like he held her very accountable for being present in their children's lives
Mhm.
without minimizing her career success,
Right.
more or less checking her self-absorption and her lack of being satisfied with how much they've acquired already, and also honoring other people in their successes as well. So he was more of like, I feel like all of these movies have one character that is like the voice of reason, or like the great equilibrium, right? The great equalizer, rather. He played that.
Okay.
He did.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Hey, two
I
solid.
enjoyed
I love it.
Yeah. So for me rambling on about it, clearly I liked it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this concludes this episode of Are we ready? One,
Yeah.
two, three. Hot Cocoa Critics. Fa la 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 la. Oh, this is a work in progress, but we're having so much fun and so excited to share the movies that we've watched with you. And that's it for this evening. Kiki, get back to them greens, girl.
Greens. I'm about to get to the yams.
Until the end.
Yeah,
Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, yams,
girl. That's it. All year.
all year. All right, LS.
All right.
I'll call you later.